everyone's ready. Okay, so thank you guys all for coming today. My name's Kelly Townsend, and I'm the co-founder of the Greater Phoenix Tea Party, and I'm here today with other leaders of tea parties around the state of Arizona. We wanted to come today and stand in solidarity with a group of Tea Party members from Arizona that are in Washington, D.C. today. We sent a delegation out there to be present for the SB 1070 hearings there at the Supreme Court. So we wanted to stand behind Senator Russell Pierce and Governor Brewer as they stand to defend SB 1070. We stand with the majority of Arizonans who appreciate the dramatic drop in crime due to SB 1070, which is 3 times as less than the national average. We appreciate our Sheriff, Joe Arpaio, who has the boldness to enforce the law. And we make no apology for firmly standing behind the law of our land, the U.S. Constitution. If we usurp this law, then it becomes meaningless. We want to be perfectly clear and underscore that we enthusiastically support legal immigration to this country. And we have celebrated many times when folks have gone through the process the correct manner through the proper channels. We open our arms to people of all race and nationality, and we welcome them to our country. We cannot condone, however, those who become lawbreakers the minute they step into this country illegally. We love those in our global family, but we must set the example that the United States of America is a sovereign country who respects the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness given to us by God through our founding fathers who believed in the supreme law of the land. We fully expect that SB 1070 will be upheld by the Supreme Court, as we have faith in our judges to recognize the nature and the purpose of our laws. We cannot put our hope in President Obama that he will honor the separation of powers, and we fear he'll continue to bypass Congress and the Supreme Court and dictate his will through executive order, as he has done with his recent backdoor amnesty policy. We urge all Americans to consider the ramifications of an unbalanced executive branch and the effects that it has produced throughout history. We stand on American exceptionalism, and we implore the citizens of this great country to become involved in the political process at the local level to protect our great country from the ground up. We, the people, have a duty. We have the obligation to do what's necessary to preserve original America. Therefore, the Greater Phoenix Tea Party and leaders of multiple Tea Party groups around Arizona stand together in solidarity with our delegation in Washington in support of SB 1070. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Jim Wise.
Hi, I'm Jim Wise. I'm with the Surprise Tea Party. And I echo Kelly's comments that we are all for legal immigration. I'd like to quote one example of the kind of folks that 1070 is going to protect. One rancher, Mr. Chilton, stated that 30 to 40,000 illegal aliens cross his ranch every year. The Forestry Service estimates each one leaves 8 pounds of trash. That's 100 tons. His animals eat the trash in the bags. He loses 10 cattle a year. That's $12,000 that one rancher is losing because of the illegal immigration. We're behind 1070, and we want to help protect all our citizens. Thanks.
Hey, I'm Matt Salmon. I'm a former congressman from Arizona. I'm running for the Congress Congressional District 5 this year, but I want to stand today and enthusiastically support Senate Bill 1070. It is the law of Arizona. I believe it is a mirror of the federal law, and that's why I believe that the Supreme Court will uphold the law, because it simply enforces what the federal government is supposed to do. And make no mistake, the only reason that 1070 came into being is because of an abject failure of the federal government to do its job. The federal government has done nothing on the subject of immigration except comport themselves with a wink and a nod. I also want to say this: I believe that out of fairness to all of those people that tried to come here legally, they stand in line, they do everything that they can to come here legally. I want to say to them, those of us that stand here will never ever tolerate the idea of amnesty, ever, as long as we live, because it's not fair to the people that want to do it the right way. Again, I believe that 1070 is a correct law. It only enforces what the federal government says it's supposed to be doing, and it would never have come to be if the federal government and the Congress and the President had done their job. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Senator Sylvia Allen, District 5. This morning I received a communication from one of my friends, rancher up on that lives down by the border, Ed Asher, and reporting on recent activity down there. On John Ladd's ranch, which borders the Mexico border, just recently there have been truckloads of marijuana. They cut a hole in the border fence, and then truckloads of marijuana are passing through, millions of dollars worth, some like 1,000 pounds to 1,500 pounds per truck. Now, what is really interesting about this is on John Ladd's ranch, he has allowed the Border Patrol to put up cameras, and so that they can, because this is one very high traffic area. When he asked the Border Patrol why they had not done anything about these trucks coming through, because before the trucks came through, they had to build a road in the swampy area of the San Pedro River, and they cut down brush and laid brush over it so the trucks could come across into the United States with this truckload of drugs. And there was 10 trucks that did this. When he asked the Border Patrol where were they, because they have these cameras up, these very high-tech cameras, they said, oh well, our agents were somewhere else monitoring the border. And this just shows you what is happening down there, that they are not securing our border, they're not paying attention, and they're not stopping what is coming across. And this is why we have such a terrible problem here in our state, is because it's the lack of responsibility of our federal government to take care of this very critical issue. This is empowering and upholding these very violent cartels who are making billions of dollars off of fellow Americans all across our country. It is a shame, it is an absolute shame that our federal government will not respond to our state and really do what is needed. And it's also a shame that the Border Patrol, who has cameras set up, who took videos of this activity, did not send agents down to stop them building a road and having these trucks come across. It's critical that we continue to try to speak out to uphold the laws. We must uphold the laws in our state, and I definitely support 1070, upholding that law. Our internal law enforcement is the only fence we have, our only security that we have going in our state right now is to try to enforce our internal immigration laws, since the federal government is not doing what it needs to do on the border. And my one final last statement is that this is why I hope that once I get SB 1083 out of the House, that the governor will sign the Arizona Special Mission Unit so that we can have more bodies on the ground to go down on the border, to gather intelligence, to be there and help maybe secure, work with law enforcement, try to have more people involved in helping push back this illegal activity, these criminal cartels that are literally taking over our state. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Beth Halgren. I live in Pinell County, and I just want to make sure that our federal government is doing for Arizona citizens and all citizens what they were designed to do. They were designed to protect us. That is one of the main purposes for our federal government. And they are not doing that appropriately. We know that they have the authority and the power, the technology, everything it takes to protect our borders. We know that our United States government has that. And we're asking them, on behalf of all citizens and on behalf of all legal immigrants, to protect us, to help us ensure that we are receiving those resources that American citizens are designed to have in our government. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Martha Payan. I'm for SB 1070, and I want the Supreme Court to rule in our favor. It's a law that's badly needed here in Arizona. And also, I want the Supreme Court to rule by law, you know, and not of compassion. So that's all.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to introduce Representative Carl Seal at this time.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a proud day to be here in America. It's a proud day when the top court in the land deals with this piece of legislation that several of us here have co-sponsored. We're very, very encouraged by that. We expect the Supreme Court to give a solid, good constitutional decision that will affirm 1070, because all it merely does is require local law enforcement to enforce federal immigration law, or better equip them to do so. So we do need to get back on the floor, so I'm going to yield the time to, of course, my colleagues here, but you'll have to forgive us because we're in the middle of 2 or 3 votes right now, so we may have to head right back to the floor any moment now.
I'm going to introduce Representative Jack Harper.
Thank you, Representative Jack Harper, 10th year serving my district in the legislature. We still stand by Senate Bill 1070. We believe that the U.S. Supreme Court is going to uphold the tenets of the bill by a 5-3 vote, and we're ecstatic about that. And we're happy to lead the nation in standing by the rule of law. And we're happy that other states had adopted the same laws and even and were able to go farther. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm State Representative John Fillmore, representing primarily Pinal County. I'm proud to be here in support of SB 1070, and I'm glad that the Supreme Court is finally going to decide on this bill. Our country faces a wave of immigration that has transcended anything we have seen in the past. These people that have come to our country, not just from the countries of South America, but all across the world, in violation of our laws. And we are a nation of laws, and also we ask is that the federal government uphold the laws which they have put into effect. And I'm very proud that the Supreme Court is finally going to weigh in on this matter. I am very comfortable that they are going to weigh into it on behalf of the state of Arizona, and we are going to be able to do something across the country. I think you'll see a wave of similar legislation which will be of benefit to our country. Thank you.
Okay, and with that we conclude this press conference. We thank you for coming out and appreciate your time, and I thank you so much for staying late for these guys. Have a good afternoon.